Welcome again. My name's Adam Hodgson from Fidget, and for those that regularly listen to me, one of the key things that you'll hear is that Google search engine optimization is one of our key digital strategies. Now, search engine optimization is a popularity contest. There's two aspects of the popularity contest. One is how good you look, and specifically the pages of your website, each and every individual page. And the second is how popular are you from other websites and other popular websites. Now today we're going to talk about how to make sure that you look good, specifically how you make your page look good. Now each page within Google is indexed. The indexation has a number of different elements to it, and those elements are fed into what they call an algorithm. And an algorithm is just a set of rules in which they will give you points for certain aspects of what you have on your web page and compare it to what is being searched for. So to start off, we're going to give you the top 10 plus maybe one bonus of the items that we recommend that you should be doing in your what's called on-page optimization. Now, your on-page optimization is what are all of the things that you're doing on your web page to make it suitable so that it is attractive to Google. Okay, so let's start off. The URL is an important piece still. A number of years ago, what was called exact match URLs were very important. So if you own searchengineoptimization.com, then Google gave you lots of points for that exact match. These days, we believe it is less important, and some people argue that it's not important at all, the URL. The second aspect of it, though, is the naming of your page itself. So if it is search engine optimization and name of page is the wording after that, .html or not, then that is an important factor. So if someone was searching for name of page, then if you have that in your URL, then that will give you some points. So that's the first thing. Make sure that your content management system that you're using, whether it's WordPress, Joomla, or any other content management system, you tick on the search engine friendly URLs. Okay, now the next thing is don't make those words too long. Don't make the name of the page a full sentence. Keep it to probably 2 to 5 words. Matt Cutts, who is one of the Google spokespeople, says that the first 3 to 5 words are important in any URL. Now, we recommend that keep it in the 2 to 5 range, keep it concise, and use that as the starting point of what is the theme, what is that page going to be about. If you go up to 5, then make sure you mix the words up a little bit so that you can optimize for items other than just a 1 or 2 keyword phrase. You can have it so that it's a 3 to 5, and you can have variations of that. Now, one of the most important things that people are still forgetting, we go out to clients all the time, and some of their websites are just beautifully designed, but a lot of them are still missing really, really basic search engine optimization. And as all of our clients hear me say, that it is a popularity contest, and if you don't design your web page well, then what happens is that you can have a really good looking web page, but it might be in the middle of the desert. So no one would come and visit it because no one would know that it's actually there. We looked at a website last week, and that website, clearly the client had spent probably thousands and 20, 30, 40,000 on this website, beautifully designed, but some of the fundamentals just weren't done. So that's what I'm going to be covering today. Now, after your URL, the next thing is that you need to give your web page a title. Now, in that title, you want the characters to be less than about 50 to 55 characters. The reason behind that is when you search in Google, you'll see the presentation of the summary, and the summary has the title and then a short description of it. If you do more than the 55 characters, then it starts going beyond what Google can actually display in a 512 pixel display. Make sure that this title has the keyword phrase that you're interested in, and so that title is very important. The next level is the headings on your page. Now, there are different styles. Just like in Microsoft Word, you'll have a style for a heading 1, a heading 2, a heading 3. Within most content management systems, they will have that style set up for you, H1, H2, H3. Now, our belief is H1 is not as important as it used to be. However, it still should reflect the key content of the page. We find that the H2 headings and a variety of the H2 headings with synonyms, with your keyword phrase and synonyms and related items for those keyword phrases, are the things that work best. All right, so we've now talked about the page title. We've talked about the headings. One of the things these days is design is important. If someone comes to your web page and leaves it straight away, then that is called a bounce. And Google prefers to have engagement on web pages. And the engagement on those web pages is measured by both time and action. Therefore, if you have images, if you have good quality images, if you have videos, and if you have effective navigation on your website, then that will help retain the visitor longer on your site and engage them more. So use your visuals. On your visuals, if you're doing imagery, name the image related to whatever the page is that you're optimizing. So instead of doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, like some of the standard image outputs come, name it. If it is search engine optimization, do search-engine-optimization. And it's very important that you do the alt text. Now, this is a bit technical, but all it is if Google, because Google can't actually see images just yet, probably will very soon, and some argue it might right now, but because it can't actually read the images yet, it needs some sort of cue to understand what do I need to, what is that image about? And that's the alt text. So the alt text, again, we recommend probably about 5 images per page. You can go up or down from that, depending on what the purpose of the page is. If it's an instruction sheet, do a lot more, and make sure the images are named related to what they are and related to the search engine, the search phrase that people will be looking for, that you're optimizing for that page. Now, another one that we've experimented a fair bit with is linking. Now, there's different levels of linking, and at one stage it didn't pay you at all to do any outbound links. Now these days we believe that Google, if you are doing outbound links to pages of authority websites, and an authority website is one that is recognized by the general public, the industry, as a go-to website. So it's a very popular website. So if you're doing links, do links to some authority websites outbound and use some of the keyword phrases and keywords in those links outbound. What that does is it then tells Google that this page has done research across many other websites about that particular topic, whatever it might be. And Google then recognizes that that is an important page based on some of these. It gives you extra points. Now, the next one is obviously, and this has been for forever and a day, make sure your content is valuable content. And in that valuable content, in the first 100 words, make sure that your search phrase, whatever your keyword target phrase is, make sure that that is included. Now, it used to be start of the paragraph, middle of the paragraph, end of the paragraph. It's more natural wording these days, so you don't have to repeat it too much. Just make sure the key phrase is there. Now, I've already talked about use of synonyms. So if you have a particular topic, then understand all of the sort of type of variations of different ways people might say that search phrase. So these days, the natural language aspect of the algorithm has improved significantly. And if you have synonyms related to your keyword phrase, your search phrase, then put them throughout your article. Don't overdo it. Make sure it's natural still. Just do it consistently throughout your article, as though you were talking to someone, as though you were chatting to someone, as though you were explaining whatever your topic is to someone. That's what Google's looking for. So synonyms or related keywords are very important as well. Now, I've talked about the images and the alt tags, and probably the other thing is we find that when you're linking to other media outside of your website, let's say it's Facebook or YouTube, try and name the media that are outside of your website appropriately to what you're optimizing on your web page. So if you're posting on Facebook, if you're posting on YouTube, then have the naming of that and the associated information on that related to your particular page. That will give some further validation to Google that what your page is about is relevant. Now, this one's pretty obvious, and there's a number of things that are pretty obvious these days, that social media is big. So if you make it easy for people to share your content, there are things that are called social signals. And social signals are a way of Google and other websites having a look at your content, and based on what other people are saying about it, going back to the popularity contest, based on what other people are saying about it, then how important is it? So our recommendation is you make it very easy to share using your key social media. Our advice generally to clients is target a few of your social media for a start. So start off with a Facebook or a Twitter or a Pinterest, just one or two of them. Don't try and do everything for a start, and build that. And you'll see in some of our other webinars, I'll talk to you a lot more detail about what you should be doing on your social media. Now, the next one, people have differing views on this one. The amount of content on your page. People are saying that because Google has had lots of research done into it, and they've done some stats to say that those pages with more than a few thousand words actually rank higher than those with 20 words. Now, in saying that, what I've seen pages with 20 words rank number one. And I've seen pages with, you could scroll down for a week and the page is still going, and that's ranked number one. So what we find is that it is the structure of the page, and if it's well structured given all of the other things, the number of keywords, the number of words on the page don't really matter that much. What's really important is that it is relevant to the keyword phrase, or what people are searching for. And if you do that, you structure the titles, you structure the pictures, you structure the page name, the URL, and in another webinar I'll talk to you about the inbound popularity. You do those things, you can get to number one. Now, probably the next two things are a little bit more technical. One of them is, if you have a webmaster or if you are doing it yourself, have a look at optimizing the images so that the load time is faster. Google have publicly said that fast load times or faster load times will feed into their ranking. The second is that if you don't have a website these days that is what they call responsive, which basically means that whatever type of device I come into that website on, it has a look at what that device is and it serves me up a version of my website, of the website that is suitable for whether it's a smartphone, a tablet, a desktop, and in some cases different sizes of desktops. A lot of templates these days have the responsive design built in. We 999 times out of 1,000 we tell our clients start with a template and don't try and redesign and start with coding from scratch. It's just not effective these days. So buy a template that is a responsive template, because Google, as of end of 2014, early 2015, are sending reminders out to webmasters that if their pages are not responsive, if they're not suitable for mobile, and if they're not suitable for mobile, then they actually reduce the effectiveness on the search. Now, that's a quick summary of the key things that you need to know when you are structuring your web page for search engine optimization. And that is specifically for Google, but in most markets around the world, the US, Australia, UK, Google is the dominant search provider still. And given it's the dominant search provider, we structure most of our pages based on the requirements for search within Google, and obviously the requirements for the end user as well. That's it for today, and I'll give you another webcast very soon. Hope things are going well. Bye.